Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming and watching another episode of Drinks and Discussions. Alongside Marcus, Big Jake, Megan, Vic Ferrari, I am Brian, and we will be your hosts for the next hour or two. Hope you brought your drinks because there's a lot of discussions. So sit back, stay tuned, and please be ready for your comments. Welcome, everybody, to another live episode of Drinks and Discussions. Hello, everyone. Hello, world. Let me let me unmute. Let me make sure I unmute you guys. Okay, now speak and see if everybody can hear you.
Megan, you're muted. I think you're still muted, Megan. Oh, she's sorry, Megan. I'm sorry.
Hello, Silly Wabbit. Can you hear everyone, Silly Wabbit? Make sure everybody can comes through live on the podcast. If you can hear everybody, please let me know. Is it? How about perfect? Yeah, everybody's perfect. So, Silly Wabbit, you can't hear anybody? Hello, Yum. Let me make sure I get it. You got you guys. Let me. Here we go. I think it was my fault.
Me, Brian,
Oh,
Should I
how about
start?
now, everybody?
Hello, silly rabbit.
I can't hear anyone but you. Who's you?
Is it me?
You gotta put a name
Wait.
with the you.
Use on third, right?
I don't know
What's
was on third.
second? Ah,
Should I start singing? Maybe that will break the silence.
I think everybody's
baby
working now.
got
I can see the voice indicators moving up and down, so I think we're good. We're good
Oh,
now.
well, wait a minute.
can't hear Brian.
What the
Brian,
heck?
mic up.
I'm not seeing or hearing anything.
How
I
about
don't know.
Marcus? Can you hear Marcus?
Yes. What about now? Anybody?
I can hear everybody.
Yeah, yeah. We're
But I
not talking about you. We're talking about the audience.
I don't think I don't think they can hear us.
Yeah.
We're asking them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't hear Jake.
Oh, now
Can't
here's
hear
everybody.
Brian.
Jennifer
All
says
right.
she can hear everybody. My wife says she can hear
And now
everybody.
Silly can hear all of us.
Silly
Am I-
rabbit can hear, which means everybody can hear in chat
Yes.
now. I hope.
Yes, everybody's
Am I
fine.
too loud?
Nope.
No, you're fine.
Always.
You know what? You wanna know why? Because it's this amazing microphone.
Oh yeah. Look at you. Look at you.
Okay.
Yum, be nice. Be nice, Yum, and no pube talk.
Yum, yum, yum. Yum. You know the rules.
What is Yum talking about?
I'm not gonna keep showing my boobs. There we go.
Oh, well. Hey, what'd you do that for, Megan?
Whoa, whoa.
Why'd you move the camera? We're saving that for
Wow.
drinks and discussions after dark.
Hey Megan.
Yeah. That's exactly
Hey,
why
Megan.
cameras.
Megan.
Wow.
Megan.
I'm trying to fix the mic.
See,
Okay.
Yeah.
seemed like the show's changed a bit since last I was here.
The mic just was coming loose off of the shelf I had it on.
Oh, okay. So while you do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the horn. Let's talk about everything that everybody's drinking. Even if it's water, please let us know what you're drinking. And if you're in the chats, please also participate and let us know what you are having to drink as well.
Look at this beautiful mic. Isn't it
Ooh,
gorgeous?
la la.
It's almost as gorgeous as that cabinet I put together and stained and attached up above my head. This microphone.
I like it.
I only got
Yeah.
3 birthday presents this year.
Hang on one second, Megan. Hang on one second.
Need to get me one of those.
Okay.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Check all your messages on Discord and everywhere else, Megan. Also.
Oh, snap. You're making me check messages?
because it has a lot to do with
An
the
hour ago.
it has a lot to do with the topics that we're going to be discussing that we didn't have a chance to talk about yet. So
Got it.
it's kind of important that you look at it
Right.
really quickly, really quickly.
Looks like Truth Teller finished their last cup of coffee. They're good to go.
Oh,
We got
Good news.
Ahsoka.
Good news.
oh, Truth Teller.
Imperial Fulcrum.
Where's your magic 8-ball?
The Heineken and Fireball, yum, and then also Truth Teller. Fulcrum, welcome to the chat. I appreciate you. So start with Jake. What did you mention? Anything about what you were drinking?
I'm probably gonna crack something a little bit more hard a little bit later on, but right now it's something simple. Cherry Pepsi.
Nice.
All right.
All right, Vic Ferrari, you want to tell us everybody what you're drinking?
Dr. Pepper cream soda.
Ooh, okay.
Vic, I had A&W cream soda last week.
Nice. Yeah, it came up in a chat in a room I was in earlier today, and I was like, yeah, that sounds good. So I thought I'd get a little crazy tonight with that.
A little heavy. Like every time I think of any sort of root beer float or cream sodas, to me it's heavy.
Yeah, a lot of
I guess
vanilla.
it's later in the day for you guys. More of a dessert drink time.
So since you're talking about it, what are you drinking tonight, Megan?
So my favorite champagne, which is Mountard, it is delicious.
All right. And last but not least, the guy, the man who's sitting up on his throne, watching us, looking down upon us all, Marcus.
Rise. No, I'm drinking my Mountain Dew Zero tonight. Zero. Y'all see that?
One of these days, you're gonna show up here with like a cool non-alcohol drink, right?
Yeah. I used to get those CRBs. Maybe I need to start making my own in like an empty milk jug or something.
I'm trying to find more alcoholic Mountain Dews around so I can kind of con Marcus into
That'll work.
maybe.
There's way too many
I know.
non-alcohol Mountain Dews out there. You can't.
If we have a,
Does Marcus look slow?
yeah, I probably.
No, we don't.
Well, I've already said this. When Marcus takes that first sip, we will have it live on Drinks and Discussions. That is 100%. I mean, if it's okay with Marcus when it happens, and it's up to me and my best of my abilities to make it happen.
And
If we can do it, if it's all possible, we will do it live on Drinks and Discussions.
And it
You're
won't
here.
be the first sip. It'll be the first, second, third, 25th, 6th, 200.
Well,
And absolutely, he'll give consent.
And hello, Fred Rogers. Welcome to Drinks and Discussions. Appreciate you joining. I'm going to show you guys what I'm drinking. I'm drinking Knob Creek. I'm finishing it off, and then I'm probably going to switch it over to some beers, keeping it nice and easy. Because in case you did not know, Marcus and I are doing this remotely. We are in a conference room in an office space, and we decided that we just wanted to get out of the house, try doing it remotely again. So you may start seeing us doing our podcast on Thursdays at different venues. We may go back to Uncorked. We may try going to other places, but this is just us getting out of the house, and we wanted to see each other, so we figured we'd come out here and do it.
You
Nice.
meant Tuesdays, right? The other tea day?
Yeah, other T-Day, yes, Tuesday.
I just wanted to take a second to say hello to Silly Wabbit and Fred Rogers, man. Haven't seen him in a while, man. Good to see you. And Yum, no more pube talk, Yum. I'm telling you.
What's this pube talk I hear about?
I'm glad that you took Paladin's advice and came over and saw us. I'm really glad. It's good to see you here, Fred.
And also Truth Teller. Hello, Truth Teller. Good to see you as well. He's drinking some, he was saying alcoholic Mountain Dew. Is it like taking an upper and or downer at the same time? It is. It's like Red Bull and vodka. If you drink a Red Bull vodka, that's what a Mountain Dew would be. So
Luckily,
cheers.
it's not like a Red Bull and Jaeger because that's the devil's.
Yes, that's the devil's concoction. Yes, it is. Cheers, everyone.
Salud.
Oh,
Cheers.
Salute. Salute.
oh.
Marie Cook, hello.
Marie.
So
Miss
Marie.
my dear friend Marie.
My nutty amor.
I hope she knows how amazing she is.
So
And you've been sorely missed.
She is
I'm
a
not
great
sure.
gal. She's a great gal.
We're
I was
totally
just
making
asking. I was just asking about you, Marie Cook. To be honest with you, I was just asking about you.
He really was. He was just asking me.
You silly.
Of all people to ask too. Marcus is like,
And
yeah.
then Mark is
no,
like, yeah, yeah, sure.
yeah, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there.
So there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So I kind of want to get into it. But before we get into some of the things that I know Vic has asked if we were going to be talking about some of the videos. I don't know if any of you or if most of you have seen some of the little small videos that I have been posting throughout the week. It's something new. I find myself with some time. I got this new software that I was playing around with, and I'm just trying to get better at streaming and also providing content. So there are a couple of videos out there. There's the one about the preacher, and then there's the other one about the Karen that was here local in Texas. That a couple of people asked if we were going to actually, discuss. So I want to talk about those if that's okay with you guys, and if you have anything else that you'd like to discuss, please put it in the chat. But I wanted to give Megan an opportunity to have the floor because if she wants to talk about it, she can. But I think she kind of mentioned that she wouldn't mind. So I'm going to turn it over to her. She's got some things that she wanted to talk about personally, and the floor is now yours.
So yeah, I kind of did want to get it out there because my whole attitude and my style has kind of changed recently because I've been a little moody in the last week. I was robbed by gunpoint where they used my cat as a hostage for me to go to the ATM. I wasn't hurt. The cat wasn't hurt. We all got out of there safe and sound. But the aftermath of it, it's not the first time I've had PTSD from being attacked, and the person who's supposed to care about me never even stopped by. And that's what's really gotten under my skin ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Horrible.
ladies and men, if your significant other is ever in a traumatic situation and they already told the story to law enforcement or whoever needs to know from being attacked, grill them for more information. Hug them. Just show them support. Don't ask for more information. I've been so hurt by the reaction of the person who's supposed to give a shit about me, and all he wants is details. And I'm like, that's exactly what I told you I don't want to do. I told you I needed a hug and a cigarette, and I haven't seen you in a week. So I just kind of want to explain why my attitude has been a little on the shitty side, a little on the short side. Like I've been kind of short with everybody and snippy, and not how I like to be. But definitely made my mind up about this individual, whether he's worth giving him the time of day or not, because obviously not. He made my trauma all about him.
It's funny to me that the first initial, not even a boyfriend or romantic interest of someone who experiences tragedy, that individual should say, "Are you okay? If you need anything," and then allow you to have an opportunity, if you would like to discuss it more, leave it up to you. But at that point, that you're just supposed to be there, right?
And my way of telling people that I care about that could trigger tears out of me, my way of telling them is literally in an email, as impersonal as it is. I give them the details so they don't have to hear me saying it, and I don't have to go through that saying it. And I let them know where I'm at, what I need, and what I don't need. I spell it out so clear. I've been praised for this in the past. My mother gets it. If she gets an email like that from me, she knows to just leave me alone for a day or two, but show support. He did the opposite of everything I asked for, and exactly did what I didn't ask for. And he's mad at me for not giving him details. I'm like, well, you bring your happy ass over here and look at me face to face. Maybe I'll give you the details, but that's still gonna hurt me to like delve into those details. And you think you have buddy cop friends? No, I work with cops. I I, I know what I'm doing.
So I think what happens. Oh,
It makes you feel doubted when somebody is grilling you for the details. It makes you feel like they don't believe you, and they're making you relive it. So anybody that
Absolutely.
has a friend or a significant other that's been through a traumatizing situation, know to slow the roll of getting information. Just slow it down because it makes us feel doubted and it makes us angry. Like my anger, obviously, is at the guy who robbed me. And I want to aim it at him, but it doesn't help that somebody else is making it worse.
You know,
So
it's funny you say
So-
that. Oh, go ahead, Vic.
so what I was going to say was I think when people get into these kind of situations, they don't take the time. I think Megan's still talking, but I don't hear her on my end.
No, she's not.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Anyway, because I see in her picture she's moving, but maybe that's just on my end.
on YouTube, you're watching the YouTube video.
Oh, so I'm in the wrong place.
No,
Well, it's like 8 seconds ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So what I was going to say was, I think when people are in that kind of situation, as the person that is trying to show some kind of support for you, they don't take the time to understand where someone else is coming from, and they look at it from their own perspective on how they would want somebody to approach it with them. And I think because that's that was a big thing with me, as I never took the time to understand where other people, maybe that's not the approach they wanted to take, right? Mine was always, yeah, go and get them and give me the details. I'm going to find them and do something about it. Where sometimes people just want somebody to listen and just to listen to what they want to say. And so it just sounds like this person is saying, man, if I was in this position, I would want to keep talking about it. And so that's what this other person needs, and not trying to understand what the other person actually needs.
And the thing is, like, I've been there for him throughout, like, a bunch of stuff. And I know when to shut my mouth. And I know when to encourage conversation and when not to. When to ask questions and when not to. Like, I think about what I would want. And I know I do come off as cold and callous to other people's trauma sometimes because I don't be left alone. And so I leave people alone. I tell them I'm there, but I leave them alone because that's how I want to be treated. So people that want to be smothered, they're going to find me to be callous and cold. And I'm not. I just treat them the way I want to be treated.
I'm a lot like you, Megan, in that respect.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's very common. I mean, the
Right.
people that want to be smothered and pampered and taken care of, I don't think the trauma is being handled well.
I agree too, to a certain degree, because let me say it in two parts. The first part is, I agree when someone continuously asks questions, even though they may thinking that it is coming from an innocent place, it comes across as inquisitive and that you are untrusting and that you are only trying to do some type of investigative questioning to find out some type of ulterior motive.
As if I'm not smart enough to talk to the right people
Right.
and to give right reports. Like I'm just some stupid waif. I work in nonprofit. I work hand in hand with the sheriff. I know what I'm doing. I work with domestic violence victims all the time. I know what I'm doing. And for him to be like, I just want you to give me the facts. Why don't you give me the facts? I'm like, because you haven't even shown your face. You haven't even come here.
And so the second part of my retort here is, men in general aren't necessarily empathetic beings. So, it's hard for some people, some men, to show that emotion that we care, or that emotion that we want to be just a shoulder to cry on, because we want to be kind of the macho. We want to be kind of like what Vic was saying. We want to know the details so we can go and crush some skulls. That's kind of in our protective nature. We want to be that. If something happens on my watch, I got to go correct it by taking my anger out physically.
Yeah.
And it's not just to sit back and say, oh, let me just be there and be a shoulder to cry on. So I'm not taking up for him or defending his actions. Sometimes it's just hard for men to kind of do that without having some experience in doing it at some point in their life.
He calls himself an empath.
Well, that's because he doesn't really know himself.
Nah, he's 5 years younger than me.
Well, but I mean, if you
Anybody younger than me, because I've always been an old soul, so I always dated people older than me. I think he's the first guy I dated that was younger than me than more than a few months.
But if someone doesn't know themselves, you can't expect them to know anyone else. And so I think, people do the best that they can with what they have and where they are. And that was something, I was taught about my father, because I had a lot of animosity and things towards my father. And what I was taught was, hey, he did the best he could with what he had at the time and what he was taught. And that let me let go of all the resentments that I had. It actually made me feel sorry for him in a way, because he didn't know how to express the things that we're talking about. And I'm like, but like, and like Brian, I'm not trying to excuse it. I'm just trying to explain it a bit.
And I'm an optimist, right? And I give people chances. And I told him directly what I needed. It's been 5 days, and he still hasn't stopped off to see me. Now he knows that what he's doing is hurtful. All he has to do is stop by. I'm literally a 2-minute out of his way between the bar he goes every night and home. 2 minutes. All he had to do is stop by, and he knows that will make me not as angry. And the fact that he puts this off longer and longer shows me how incredibly immature that is. And I mean, well, 35, I expect more maturity in 35, but then I got to remember, I don't really get in their prime until 42.
He may not be capable of dealing with the emotions that he knows are going to happen if he goes to see you.
That's why I put it in an email, because I didn't want to be emotional, and I wanted to be analytical. This is where I'm at. This is how I'm feeling. This is what to expect from me, and this is what I need from you, and this is what I don't need from you. Like, I literally was just like, this is what happened. Because if I told him in person, then it would be emotions and tears, and I suck at talking when I'm all checked up. Like, I literally can't talk. And then you're just like guessing, like, what? Oh my God, did this happen? Did this happen? It's like, can't talk. So I have just, I tell my mother about traumatic situations I've gone through via email. My mother, my best friend, and she gets it. And he has praised me in the past for being clear. No games. I don't play games. I don't have time for games. Games are stupid. But, this is where I'm at, and this is what I need, and this is what I don't need. And you're going to do everything I don't need and nothing of what I need. You ain't that dumb. I don't date stupid guys.
Well, at the end of the day, what Vic says, if someone shows you who they really are, believe them.
Believe them.
And he showed me who he really was a while ago.
Wow.
And I broke up with, we've been broken up for a while, and he's just like, I'm gonna prove myself. I'm gonna earn my way back into your good graces. And I'm like, by ignoring me after a traumatic and lecturing me and ranting at me. He literally ended a text going, rant over. And I'm like, next time you want to rant at a traumatized woman, have the balls to do it in person. I've just been so mad. So thank you all for letting me just spew out my negativity onto you guys. I'm sorry.
Good debate.
No, don't be sorry.
No offense taken.
Sorry.
It's good.
Hey, when we share good news, we double it. When we share hurtful things, we cut it in half. So
And-
that's
and
what
I do want-
friends do.
And I do want insights from the other side. So, like, the reason I do spew this out is because I am open minded to, like, what am I missing? What am I too angry to even see?
Well, I know I've been looking at some of the chats, and they're all on your side. He should have done something. He should have
They're
come
all
by.
To be
And
honest, they're all on one side.
Marie is saying you got to find somebody you can use for a week. Give them a bagel in the morning and send them home. That's what Marie said.
I gotta stop enjoying the physical side because I gotta let go of the physical part of it.
Yeah,
you know?
if he's not gonna be there for you in all the other ways, then the physical shit just shouldn't happen.
Yeah, because
That's
words
because that's not
words
fair to
mean
you.
nothing when you can't back it up. And I am a woman of my word. I take pride in my word. My word means something. His word hasn't meant shit
Well,
in a year.
let me also say this. Let me also say this about men. And I still work on this. I still have a lot of work to do when it comes to listening without reacting. Sometimes my wife wants to sit there and she wants to tell me something without me having some type of, retort.
Right.
All she wants me to sit there and go, sure, yes, oh, and respond in that way. She doesn't always want me to go, oh no, what the hell is that all about? And all of that, blah, blah. And I still have to work on that. So I'm not saying that everybody understands. It's a learning process. Any relationship you're in, it's always about learning each other's, how-tos. How do you like to be heard? How do you like to be listened to? How do you like to be comforted? How do you like to have all these types of things? It's just a constant learning of each other. And I think that's what makes good, long-lasting relationships work, when you continue to work on learning each other.
It's with having enough respect for the person to even take the first step.
Right.
And that obviously hasn't happened. And I'm done giving leeway and being like, all right, you say these things. And I give him shit all the time for it. I'm just like, your word means nothing. Your word literally means nothing. I've asked him 3 times in a year for things that I needed. Like, I needed support on this day, and this day. Like, I got a really bad concussion, like the kind that people worry about. And I asked him to check in on me. And he called and I didn't answer. And he texted, I didn't answer. He's like, I checked in. I'm like, no, checking in is making sure that person's okay.
No,
Did
go
you
to their
know
house.
I was okay? Did your verification? I could have had a brain bleed on my floor. And he'd be like, called her. She didn't answer. I'm going to go drink. And I'm like, that's not checking in.
No, I would have. If it was me, I would have dropped everything and have been right over at their house. Like, look, something's wrong. If they're not answering their phone, I'm going straight over there.
Especially when they normally answer their phone and they have a really bad, like, I lost half a day. Like,
Welfare.
I have been on half a day.
Welfare check.
And if he was too drunk to drive, call the fucking sheriff. He's like, oh, now you're telling me to call the cops? I'm like, yeah, I'm at home with a really bad concussion by myself. I'm not here doing drugs or selling illegal shit. Like, yes, tell the sheriffs to do a welfare check because you're too fucking drunk to do it yourself. That would have been checking in on me. That would have been checking in on me.
We're talking about a person who, at this point, I think is just incapable of having a relationship with another person because they don't have a relationship with themselves.
Well, he's
You know,
in
it's
denial
just-
that he's an alcoholic.
It's just there you go. Exactly. That's
Bar every night. And he's
exactly.
broke as shit. He knows that I
Well,
need
and
money, and I gave him, even if I didn't get robbed, I was still gonna need him to pay me back, and he promised me he would. And every night he's been at that fucking bar, and I'm like, you're literally spending
Right.
my money. And now that I've been robbed, I really need it.
You deserve better.
Oh, I know.
Chump. He's
I
a
know
chump.
my value, and I know my worth.
Do you know?
I do.
You said you've been.
do
Well,
know.
hold on. You said you've been doing this for a year.
Not quite a year.
Well,
Not quite a year.
okay. So
There.
well, I'm telling you that you deserve better.
I know my worth and I know my value, and I give chances and benefits of the doubt. But I'm older now, so I can't give that much
Well.
leeway for that long anymore. You know, because like my clock is
Okay.
ticking. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
in case you didn't hear, Megan, I want you to understand and hope that I'm echoing everyone else's sentiments in the chat. We are all glad you're okay. We are all
Definitely.
glad that you're healthy again from your
Yes.
COVID battle, and we're all happy to have you back on panel on Drinks and Discussions. Good to have you
I
on.
am happy to be here and surrounded by people who give a shit. None of you guys would have done that. You would have all checked in with me. Everyone in the chat probably would have checked in on me if they were only 2 minutes out of the way from their normal route to the bar.
We
Ooh,
would
the
check
bar.
in on you
Yeah.
now. We're all just a little far.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, literally, if you guys were here in my town, where he
Oh,
is,
yeah. I'd have been there
would've made
being like,
I told him I
Be-
needed a hug and a cigarette
Well,
5 days ago.
you know, it's so funny. Everybody, if you're not on panel, everybody, even if you're late, everybody goes, "Where's Megan? Where's Megan? Where's Marcus?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
where's Jake?"
They effing care more than the
That's why-
person I would sleep with.
that's why we're a family here. That's why I said we're a family, because we care about each other.
So can I use this as an opportunity, Megan, if you allow me? Can I use this as a great segue to something else?
Yes.
Because if you have not seen this video, I want everyone to take a moment, and if you want me to share it with everybody, I can. But it talks about being a good neighbor. We talked about checking on people, and if Megan was not responsive, the first thing I would do is even try to contact her neighbors. If I'm good friends with someone, I typically would like to know their neighbor in case I can't reach you, especially if you're a single woman. Everybody in my neighborhood knows who me and my family are because I'm active in our Facebook community Facebook page. If anybody needs a light bulb change and they're an older couple, I'm changing the light bulb. I'm putting together bicycles. I'm doing all those things in my community. Not because I want to be popular, but just because how I was raised. Neighborly.
Nice thing to do.
Right.
And there's a security in being someone that people can count on instead of being somebody that, gosh, we gotta keep our eye on him.
So how is it possible? How is it possible for someone to be doing something neighborly to get arrested?
Well, what is your definition of neighborly again, and how far does that go into the law?
So
You got to be black. You got to be black in Alabama.
Vic knows where I was going with this. Vic knows where I was going with this.
Yes.
Yes.
Or Mississippi, come on. Just Alabama. There's also Arkansas.
Hey, don't talk about Arkansas like that. Don't talk about Arkansas. But
I
Vic.
didn't say Arkansas, I said Arkansas.
So Vic knows where I'm going with this. If you haven't seen the video, it's about the pastor who was watering the flowers for his neighbors as they're out of town,
Oh, I
and
did see that. Yeah.
Kind of infuriating.
yeah, he
It's
gets
infuriating watching
that
that
was-
that came from that channel.
That was crazy. The
so.
guy was just watering his neighbor's flowers.
Yeah, but who was commentating and saying that guy was in the run like that was the tip.
Yes.
That
So
was it for me. I'm just like, no.
Probably
Put it-
some nosy ass neighbor.
just real quick, if you've seen the video, please put a 1 in the chat. If you have not seen the video and would like for me to play portions of it, put a 2, and then we can discuss the video as we go through and watch it. It's not very long. We can fast forward past some of the parts. So if you want to see the video, let us know. And hey, Liz.
I want to see it. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
And all your knowledge of computers and audio, is there any way to like bring down the whole large room echo you got going?
Unfortunately, no, because we're in a large conference room, and we talked about it as we were coming in, and we were going to move, but we kind of just set it up and we kind of left it at that because it's really like nothing but a big room with a TV and whiteboard.
It's usually just a setting.
Well, let me double check then. I don't
I'm
know.
gonna go pee while you are double checking.
I don't know anything about this new fangled technology. Nope, that's
Yeah,
not
that
good.
was I saw that video the other day, and I was like, man, they did that guy so wrong. All he was doing was a favor for his his neighbor.
Yes.
Looks
That
like
was,
Yum and Fred have seen the video.
Yes.
I have a question about it. I mean, I've seen it a few times, but my question is there any more information about the woman that made the initial call and why, if she knew the person?
Yes, I do
That's
know
the.
information about her.
Oh, you have
that's
more
what I've
about
wondered.
that? Okay. Okay.
That's what I've
Because
wondered. Like,
it seems well, it seems to me that it's all part of this see something, say something. And that's become a very dangerous moniker, in my opinion.
see, my thing is, why would they call the cops on him if all he's doing is over there watering plants? Like, what are they in broad daylight too, nonetheless? And he's out in the front yard.
So I'm gonna play a little bit of this if you guys don't mind. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it, and then we'll see what you guys think. Let me get
I
to
saw
a
that one you
spot.
posted today about that, Brian. I'd like to talk about that too.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, let
One
me.
you posted earlier about that officer assaulting that woman. That
Oh,
was just
absolutely.
Oh,
Yes.
that was nasty, man.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna share this
That,
screen here with you
and
guys.
that was the employee of the month.
You know what? I am a huge. I respect police. I have family members that are police officers, but I hope that bitch got fired and removed. I hope something happens to her because that is just.
No, she
That's
was literally the employee of the month.
Oh, I know. I watched.
Yes.
I watched I
She was
watched the
literally.
end of the. Because of that,
No, I
No,
don't think because of that. No, but
I
no.
was about to say what?
Well, give me a second. I'm queuing it up here real quick, and if you guys haven't seen it, we'll watch a little bit of it, and then you guys can kind of tell me what you think, and then I'll give you guys an update because I know Marcus hasn't seen it. I'll give you an update on what
yes.
we know
To just
about
answer Truth Teller's question, yes, the woman that came over was the one that called 911 and then said, "Oh, that's the neighbor from across the street and they're friends." So I'd like to know what she saw that initially caused her to call 911 if she knew the person.
Okay,
I think I have an idea, but anyway.
All right, I'm gonna play it, and you guys let me know what you think.
They saying that, is that your vehicle? It's not? The neighbors?
314, I'll be on 13.
Okay. You live here?
Oh, I'm
Okay.
missing something.
They saying that this vehicle is not supposed to be here and you're not supposed to be here.
Who's saying that?
They called about it. I don't know.
Now, as you watch this video, I want you guys to remember the very beginning on why this officer approached this man. All right, I'm
Just
sorry.
come here and talk to us.
Getting out of the commentary.
What's up, Vegas
Well, if you would
Joker?
let us talk to you, we can figure stuff out.
You're gonna catch an obstruction charge if you keep walking away. You can do whatever you want. Do it. Do it.
We're just trying to talk to you, man. Come here.
313, 314, follow.
10-4. We got one that's not listening to us.
Okay, so now you see a little bit about what's going on.
Already
Okay.
lost it. Just have a seat, okay? Okay, I already lost it. Already lost it.
313, show us. 1026, one black man.
Okay, so that's a little bit of it. So I'm gonna go to the lady who says she knows the guy.
Permission here to be watering flowers.
He may because they are friends.
Okay.
And they went out of town today, so
Right.
he may be watering their flowers.
Okay.
Be completely normal.
Okay,
And that's
is that
fine.
that's fine. If he would have said, "Hey, I got this," gave his identification because he's a suspicious person, he said that's not his vehicle; it's their vehicle.
We have
Okay.
a call. Like,
Yeah.
we're here because we're called here. I don't know who called, but somebody did.
Did you call us?
313. Rory Milam of Childersburg on a 2004 Chevy Tahoe. No color listed. Registration is valid till 6:30 of 20.
Okay, so you guys get the gist of it, right?
Yeah.
So let me tell you guys what I found out about the lady who said that she reported it to everyone. She refused to give her information.
No color listed.
She refused to give her last name because she had been arrested and she didn't want any other information passed on to the police officers that she called.
And that was the lady standing there.
That was the lady standing there.
She probably knew if they ran her information, they'd be like, "Oh, maybe she's lying because she's got a record."
All right, but my question though is, she said she knew the person, that he lived across the street and was friends with that person. So my question is, what did she see or think she saw initially that caused her to call the police?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, why would she rat on him if,
And I can tell you, what I think it was it's the whole see something, say something. She happened to look out her window, saw a different colored man and immediately called the police and then said, "Oh shit, that's somebody I know."
Right.
That's my opinion on what, and that's why see something, say something is a very dangerous thing, because luckily that gentleman, although he got upset, he did not resist. He did not put up a fight. I mean, he walked away to go water more flowers, but this could have ended a lot differently.
So here's another point that I wanted to bring to your guys' attention. There are 2 points, actually. One, the lady who claimed that she saw something that she didn't think that belonged there, a mysterious person or a suspicious person. She didn't even know the name of the person who lived in that house. So it's not like she was keeping an eye out on this person's house. So she had absolutely no idea what was going on. So she should have been minding her own business. That's number one. And then to get someone arrested like that, and then refuse and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm not giving you my last name because I've been arrested, and I don't want you to pull warrants up on me or whatever." They should have put her in handcuffs and said, "Wait a minute, you filed a false police report, and now we want to investigate you."
Yeah.
Now,
Well, I'm reading this comment here. I'm reading this comment from Fred Rogers. He's exactly right. Just a busybody neighbor, just someone who's sticking their nose in where it don't belong. Like mind your own freaking business, lady.
There has to be consequences.
There has to be. And I know when everyone is like me or Marcus or Jake, who's just probably going to go out there and you see something, you're going to go out there and investigate. Let me see what that noise is over there. Let me go find out what's going on really over there before I call anybody.
As anybody would.
Oh.
But I would. I mean, we're pretty tight knit around here. It's just an apartment complex. But if I see someone suspicious out there, I'm going to go outside kind of nonchalantly, kind of look over the railing and be like, "Oh, who's that guy over there?"
Or even engage them just to say, "Hey, man, what's up? What's going on over there? How you doing today?" Even if it's friendly, because if
natural.
Yeah, I'm not going to call the cops on him. Like, hey, and just, hey, there's some suspicious guy out there sitting in his car. Can you go check it out? Like, nah, dude. Like,
you would if you were chilling.
But see that's where our friends in this community, where I disagree with them, where I think they're kind of way out of whack is, I live at the end of a cul-de-sac, and so we know everybody who's down here. So if there's a strange car parked or somebody walking around, especially if somebody's walking around filming, right, whatever they might be doing, yeah, somebody is going to step out and say, "Hey, can we help you with something? What's happened?" Especially if it's at night or whatever, when people have kids here. And so this attitude of, "Hey, I'm in public, don't talk to me, don't bother me. I'm not, there's no reasonable expectation that I'm doing anything wrong." While you're parked at the end of a cul-de-sac here for an hour sitting in your car, what are you doing? Maybe you're lost. Maybe I can help you. Maybe there's a medical emergency, or maybe you're up to no good, and I'm going to talk to you. And I'm just taking pictures. Yeah, right.
No, doing drugs or taking pictures of, like things you shouldn't be taking pictures of.
But here's the deal. Seeing a black person is not suspect. It's not suspicious.
No.
But then also seeing someone that you have absolutely no idea if anything's out of place. She didn't even know if that man lived there or not. She didn't even know the people who lived there. So for you to see something and say something, that means you have to understand what is of the ordinary, what is out of the ordinary. And she couldn't even articulate what's ordinary. She didn't even know the man's name, the residents that lived there. So she just saw a black person and assumed that this person was suspicious.
Yeah.
Right.
So see something, say something. That means if you see somebody breaking a window and climbing through it, say something to somebody. Call the police. But if you see something, and if you live in a cul-de-sac, Vic, and you know everybody's cars, you know everybody and what they look like. If you see a car parked in a driveway and you know that this person's out of town, it doesn't look like that, like it belongs there, you're going to call that resident and say, hey, man, do you have somebody coming and watching your house before I call the cops? Because I'm sure you would call your neighbors if you know them all. And if they say, no, nobody should be at the house, then you say, okay, I'm going to call the cops, and then I'll let you know what happens later on. But don't worry about it. I'm on it.
Right.
Common sense, folks.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Hey, Silly Wabbit said that he had the cops call on him.
For doing something neighborly?
Well, his sister was on vacation and he was watering her flowers. Now, unless Silly Wabbit is pulling my leg, but.
Well, see, and that's the funny thing that I wanted to mention too, because I know some of you guys, and I'm not trying to be confrontational with anybody, but when I saw this
Mm-hmm.
being reported on another channel as if this pastor was a frauditor or some type of what do they call the people that refuse to sovereign citizen?
Sovereign citizens.
It made me angry. Because this jackass didn't do his homework to find out exactly what transpired, and he wanted to go out and lump this guy, this innocent individual who had his civil rights trampled on, as if he's part of these clowns that he loves to make fun of on his channel. And he ended up looking like a clown, in my opinion, more than any of the other ones he covers on a day-to-day basis.
Again, if people show you who they are, believe them.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to, if you guys are friends on that channel, I'm not trying to tell you not to go on that channel, or if I'm not saying anything to prevent you from staying on this channel because I'm saying something that I think is justifiably should be said. But when that clown over there decided that he wanted to do this, and that video is still up, making fun of a man whose rights were trampled on, that just makes zero sense. And the commentary that he provided, that pastor must have something to hide. Come on, pastor, what are you hiding from us? Who are you really? It just drove me fucking nuts.
Brian,
Yeah.
are you thinking about the same person that I'm thinking about?
Yes.
I've said. I saw it.
That's the reason why I tell people to put the and symbol between D and D.
Yes.
Rather be confused with Dungeons and Dragons.
I love Dungeons and Dragons.
And it was just weird that and the more you uncover, and there are other aspects of this video that you can see, and there's video of the pastor talking with his attorneys. There are even articles where the police officer or the police force is actually saying that they were in the wrong. Everything about this case, the police officers were condemned for their behavior and what transpired. And this idiot decides that he wants to lump this guy into the same bucket with these other idiots. It just was weird to me.
So here's kind of the aspect of this video that I wanted to talk about a little bit, and what kind of interested me about it. The people look at something like this, and our response to it, how we feel about it, is kind of based on our personal experiences with something like this, right? Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, I believe that what they did to him was completely wrong.
Oh, yeah.
On the flip side of that, if I look at it, I'm not one that has an issue with showing my ID, right? I don't. I understand the Fourth Amendment and protecting of papers and all those things, but I guess in my 50 years as a white man in California, I've never had an issue with showing my ID, and I don't have a very extensive criminal record. I have nothing to hide, and I have no reason to think that something nefarious is going to be done with it. Mm-hmm. Right? Now this gentleman here, being from Alabama, a little bit older than me, I have no idea what he's been through in his life that has made him say, no, I'm not giving you my ID because I'm not doing anything wrong, and trying to walk away. And I think people look, so I try to put myself in his spot, because my initial reaction is, man, I might, if I'm in that situation, I might be across the street watering my neighbor's lawn. I don't have my ID. I'll say, okay, officer, come with me, and I'll give you my ID. Because I've never been put in a position that, that potentially he has been put in, and maybe Brian and Marcus have been put in. I get pulled over. I can reach into my glove compartment and pull out my registration without fear of being dragged out of the car or shot or whatever. And I think people look at these things and they don't look at it from the perspective of the person that might be involved in it. And I myself, I try to do that. Like I said, I'm not one, and there are situations where I see people, I'm, cracking their window and I'm not giving an ID, and I'm traveling and all that nonsense. And obviously that wasn't this gentleman. But I try to look at it from, anyway.
I want to give Marcus a chance to.
What people get away with, though.
Yeah, and I want to let Marcus get a chance to kind of get some context in here as well.
No, the only thing, Vic, if I'll just piggyback on with something you said just now. For the gentleman that was arrested, that's the only thing I wish was handled or he handled differently. Was just I would have provided my ID. I would not have tried to walk away. I'm just glad that it didn't end any differently than it did, because him just walking away, again, he had every right to. He was not doing anything wrong, but that could have ended so much differently. So watching that video, I'm cringing inside because I'm thinking, just talk to them, show your ID, and be done.
So let me shed a little bit of the context. If, in my opinion, I would never have showed my ID either, ever, because I'm not a suspect just because I am a minority. Doesn't automatically make me a suspect. And
Agreed. No, I agree with that.
But
only the racist ones. Like, they would be like, "Oh, you don't want to show ID?"
Right.
Yeah.
See, and that's one of the things that I want to try to make sure that people understand. People who are trying to hide something aren't the ones that are always trying not to show their ID. There are educated individuals out there who understand that unless you committed a crime, that you don't need to show your ID. Now, why? And I think Liz and I had this conversation on the video in the comment section. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what "show your papers" means. So show your papers were when slaves were free. There were not all slaves that were free. They had to show their papers that proved that they were a free slave, or not a free black person. You weren't not a slave. You had to show your papers. Then there was a time where, and this is a lot, things that come up in the elections and what we do when it talks about voting, that people want to show your ID. When you show your ID in order to register the vote, and then have to show your ID again to vote, that is a bad connotation, because those are things that were put into place in order to further prevent black people from voting. Because when there was the Civil Rights Act and all the black people had a chance to, and minorities had a chance to actually vote, then they started making sure that, because they were a lot of free slaves and black and minorities that weren't, they were illiterate, couldn't read, they had it on as a law that you had to, not only did you have to have your registration to vote, but you had to be able to read before you can vote. So they were always making these laws to make it harder for minorities to vote. And when you say you have to now try to show your license, as in like show your papers that you belong here, or your registration to vote doesn't count, that sends a bad connotation to people who are a minority and people who have not necessarily experienced this type of thing, but have been told about these types of things from their family members who have experienced these types of things. Now, remember, I want to make this clear. slavery was abolished hundreds of years ago, right?
Yep.
The Civil Rights Act was passed in 50 something? 60? What was the Civil Rights Act? Somebody look that up.
Was it
It
64?
was, I think it was 1963, 1960 something.
So we're talking about when we passed the Civil Rights Act that made you have to be civil to black people. Hundreds of years after slavery.
1964.
1964. Listen, guys. So you got to think when you hear these types of things, it's really not that long ago when minorities were still jumping through hurdles in order to feel as if they were equal to people. And we see these types of things continually to happen. And then you say, well, just show your ID and everything will be fine. If you just comply, you would still be alive. Nobody wants to hear that crap anymore when no one's breaking the law and we're only being accosted because the color of our skin.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. It's just the reality that I struggle with is that the reality is that, and maybe you're more optimistic than I am, but I don't believe that it's ever going to change. I don't believe I don't believe in my lifetime we will ever see where black people are treated equally across the board. It'll never happen. But that's just me.
I kind of agree. And in certain ways, when you still hear that there are first, and when it comes to minorities, there's the first black person who did this. There's the first minority who did this. In 2022, we're still talking about first that we're allowed to now participate in and do in 2022.
I have definitely experienced a totally different thing. I mean, because I used to have to move my car every two days a week because of street sweeping. And one time I waited too late and I moved my car at like 3 a.m. And I had this feeling of being unsafe. Like it was just an intuition. And I saw a cop right down the street and I went right up to that cop. I'm like, hey, can you give me a ride? Like, It's only 2 blocks, but I'm like, I'm in my slippers and I'm like, I just don't have a good feeling. And I had no fear of that.
I don't know if anybody would say this is a similar situation, but I have been confronted by, because we close the store at night, so when I go in, we're still closed. And usually my boss leaves the door open for me so I can just pull on the door and open it. We usually got patrols going in and out of the parking lot. So a couple times I've actually been stopped by different police officers saying, hey, are you trying to break in there? I'm like, no, I work. They probably just see a guy with long hair and tattoos on his arm trying to break into a grocery store. So I'm not saying that's a similar situation to what.
But it is though, Jake.
It is.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
If you were a minority, that would have ended like having no criminal record or like not being tagged or like
and
shot, like
in those specific times I was actually late for work because they were out talking to me like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, you should. I was like, I told them to leave the door open for me, and so they called my boss, had him come out, and it's like, they're like, yeah, he works here, you got nothing to worry about. I even had my uniform shirt on. Like, do I just wear this shirt to walk around and look cool with it?
Well, you know what, Jake? It's not to the same degree. But imagine this. Let me put it in something that relates to what you're saying. Imagine if you didn't have tattoos. Imagine if you didn't have long hair and a beard. Imagine that if you were just a normal person trying to get into your place of employment. Do you think they would have stopped you?
Hell no.
Right. And if you walk down the street and you see or go to the grocery store and you've got your tattoos exposed and people give you looks, you think they would look at you any kind of way or make you feel uncomfortable if you didn't have those tattoos and the long hair?
It probably wouldn't look at me as if, oh, he's got tattoos, he's probably a criminal. They probably do look. I get dirty looks all the time. So, but I see what you're getting at. If I didn't look like this, I probably wouldn't get stared at so much.
Right. But here's the difference in the scenarios. right?
I'm not trying to compare
No,
myself.
I know. And I'm saying neither one of them is right. But you and I have a choice
That's
to
exactly where I was
look
going.
different, look different than
You
what we
hit
look like if we don't want to be approached that way.
you hit the nail right
Oh,
on the
yeah.
head.
Whereas Brian and the pastor and Marcus
Yeah.
do not.
That's exactly
Oh,
where I was
yeah.
going with that.
So it's all
Exactly.
it's all unconscious bias. I mean, because I'll admit, I mean, I'm walking down the street and 3 black guys are walking towards me. I will react differently than if it's 3 people that look like me. And honestly, I mean, if it's 3 guys that look like Jake, I would probably react differently than 3 guys in suits.
Not me.
It's just it's just an unconscious bias that people have. I'm not going to run across the street. I'm not going to call the police. I'm not going to do anything else. But I might be more
Alert.
more alert on what's going on. And it's probably not a good thing because the guys in the brief, could pull guns out of the briefcase.
Oh yeah, it's
They're
The mob.
more dangerous because they got power, but they're
But
it's got right
it's just an
at
unconscious bias that people have.
yeah,
you
but
know?
no, I completely understand. I was just saying, like, I wasn't trying to compare myself, but I was
No,
just,
I know.
yeah, like I said,
comparing our experiences.
Right.
yeah, like it's. I think in my 10 years of being there, that it's happened like maybe 8 or 10 times. So it's kind of stopped because I think they kind of got the idea. Oh, this guy, yeah, he works there. Just leave him alone. But
My
still.
senior year, I got stopped by the truant officer, and I was 18 my entire senior year, and I never ditched first period. The one day a week I had it as first period because it was civics. I love civics, but this one cop made me late to civics because he stopped me and my friend. We both didn't have first periods. We always got to school at second period, and I was 18. And he made us late, and I'd never been late to that class. And I'm habitually late. I was a terrible student my freshman or throughout high school. I got better my senior year, but I got that guy to give me a written apology, and he was relocated off of my campus because he made me late to class. And I stood up to. And if smartphones had a camera on them, I would have been out there like, what, bitch? What? I'm 18. Like, I would have been one of those obnoxious people.
Well,
But it's because I have the faith that I'm not going to get thrown to the ground and handcuffed.
But and the funny thing about it is too, you're a woman, and you probably have experienced different types of discrimination, even as just being a woman. That it's similar but not the same that minorities go through. And women, believe it or not, if you really put it to legal terms, women are minorities. Women can be, if you own a business and you're a woman, you could be part of the minority business owner. You can have that distinction.
But there's a pro and a con, right, to it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Obvious advantages of being a woman, right? Obvious advantages. Obvious disadvantages to being a woman. But you don't get the same when it's racial.
So
you don't get it's pro. What the upside when it comes to cops? For me, white woman tears. Do you have any idea the power of white woman tears? I hate them.
Oh, yeah.
Only use them to get out of a speeding ticket.
So
you didn't teach me how to do that. I could have got out of my speeding ticket a few months back.
Well, when you talk
before
about
CHP,
when you
this
talk
was before CHP wouldn't allow anybody to get out of speeding tickets. This was like in the 90s.
So I believe that there's a difference between, and I don't want to make this sound like this is all about racism. You can have biases that are prejudicial, that are not based upon race. And so, case in point, I was for the longest time, I thought because I went to Walmart and I had just mowed the lawn, my wife said that she needed me to take something back. And I was like, I really don't want to do this. But she said, no, it's the wrong kind. Go exchange it. And I didn't shower. And I go up there and I've got my sweaty shirt on and maybe even half sleeves. They go up there and they look at me all kinds of ways. And I used to say, damn it, it's because I'm black. No, it was because I came in there looking like I didn't have a pot to pee in. My grandmother used to say that, or a dime to my name, and I can go back in and shower up and put on a nice shirt or just a regular shirt and some shorts. They had no problem. They didn't see the color of my skin. They saw how I was presented myself, and that was, bigotry because they said, oh, anybody that comes in here that looks a certain way, I'm going to, treat them a little bit
Yeah,
more suspectly or more like a
so
suspect
they
or suspiciously.
since so instead of seeing you as a clean cut guy, they just saw you as a sweaty hobo or something like that.
Yes.
Uh,
A sweaty black hobo.
Yes.
You said it, I didn't say it.
Man, if you were a gay woman, you would have checked all the boxes, man.
Maybe pull my microphone out.
They would have called the cops for sure.
Gay women just really piss the men off.
But that's the
Especially the
but that's the unconscious bias that I'm talking about. It's just people looking at people in a certain way.
Yeah.
You know,
I think Liz had a
Yeah.
good example for you too, Brian.
It
I am
is
all
a
the
bias
Sith.
that is hard to overcome.
Welcome to the party, Sith.
Oh yeah. So the question from Liz is: never finished college, but I worked for 44 years in aerospace and got an expert in what I do. Yet will never make what an engineer makes. Listen, I 100% agree because there are times where there are guys who have a college degree and they think that they can come on, even in technology, and they think that they can come in and require high, pay rates. But you got people who are actually certified, like if you're a CCISP or something like special in cybersecurity, and you can demand higher salaries that even if you don't have a degree in a computer science degree or anything like that. So I kind of agree that there are not necessarily bigotry or biasness. I think that it's just weight is put on more of, your career specific type of discipline rather than a general degree that might not necessarily apply to what you're actually doing on a day-to-day basis. I hope that makes sense. I am drinking Knob Creek, by the way, so some of the things I say may be a little loosey goosey.
Though, like, we all come from the backgrounds we come from, and mine is the suburbs of San Diego as an extroverted white woman. I had very little to fear. When I did get arrested, I was the only person that was cuffed in the front because I made a joke and I managed to talk him into not cuffing me behind my back because that shit's uncomfortable. And yeah, you look at the whole thing as like everyone else in the SWAT band were all people of color, and there I am with my comfy boots, my comfy wrists, my comfy cuffs, and there's like, what? Terrible. But at the same time, like, should I throw that away? I tried to use that to benefit more people. I'd be like, all right, hey, don't worry, I'll talk to the cops. The cops will. Don't worry, I'll talk to the cops for all of us. It helped a few people, but I mean,
So
should I throw that?
well, you got to once again, you've kind of gave us a good segue to kind of move on to another topic that I wanted to address, and that is Karens. And when you talk about certain things that you say that you were able to do in order to kind of like manipulate a situation that you were involved in, and you probably have to agree, a lot of it that is based upon you being a white female. And the tears and all those types of things. There are a lot of women who believe that if they show tears, that makes them a victim, no matter if they're in the wrong or not. And that is what starts the whole Karenicity phenomenon that we experience more and more every day. It seems.
The difference between a Karen and a white woman who just happens to benefit from all the benefits of being a white woman is the hurting of other people for no real reason, like no good reason except for they're entitled ass bitches. But
Yeah,
like,
Karens just do
I
it for
don't
attention
hurt.
mostly.
Yeah, I don't hurt other people. Like, I won't throw anybody else under the bus. The thing that makes me the happiest in life is making people's day, like strangers, just opening a door and smiling at people. that can alter somebody's day, and that is what gets me off in life. Like that is what fuels me. Money doesn't fuel me. Uh, Fame doesn't fuel me. What fuels me is making people's day. There's just not that very many people out there that is what they can live off of.
Well, also people see that stuff like on Facebook and they look at these TikTok videos and they're like, oh, maybe if I act like that, I can get the same results or something like that. So
Sheep, all of them. They're all sheep.
and working in retail,
Hmm.
I'm around Karens on the daily, so I understand. So I know what it's like to work with Karens and people that are entitled and just but in that particular field, you just gotta. In my case, I just gotta grit my teeth and go with it because bills ain't gonna pay themselves. So yeah,
Well, I think
I've dealt.
what makes the Karen is the entitlement.
Yeah,
And the bitch.
they think the world owes them a living.
But that's the
Doesn't
entitlement. That's the entitlement. Yeah,
care
that's
about.
the entitlement.
I mean, I also feel that sense of entitlement at times where it makes me more fearless. I'm not going to use that sense of entitlement in order to stomp on people or walk over them to get what I need. I would rather put my jacket down to protect them from the mud than throw them into the mud so I can cross without getting muddy. No, it's not my style.
Yeah, I
But
think Karens
what
are.
I
It's me first. It's me first. I am superior to everyone, and so I
me.
have to, exert myself in any situation that I can that makes it feel as if someone's making me feel less inferior or inferior to them. Uh, Case in
I'm
point.
right.
Say what now?
I said obviously because I'm right, and all y'all are wrong. Right, no matter what. Ugh, can't even hear you guys way down there.
And and we're getting to a point now that it's the Karens who believe that something is being taken away from them. Case in point, when I showed you the local lady here, that again, it's where we are right now. That place where that happened is probably a mile away from where we are sitting, right where Marcus and I are sitting right now. It happened a mile from where we are right now, right, Marcus?
Yeah, probably right down the road.
Right down the road. And when you are in a situation where you feel as if because you see a minority and that minority makes you feel as if something is being taken from you, then you've got a problem. If you feel as if your rights or your sense of well-being is being trampled on just because you are in the presence of a minority, that is a sickness I could never explain. And I wish someone would try to explain it to me.
What's the question?
Yeah.
It was just a conversation saying how did someone rationalize a behavior where you feel as if someone speaking a different language than what you speak or understand makes you feel as if it's infringing upon your rights as a natural born citizen or a non foreign language speaker.
I've
Fear.
seen I've seen things like that where these Karens are definitely like, yeah, you're definitely not American because you don't speak our language or you live you do different things, like live a different culture than I live. So I think that you're trying to say something, Vic. What do you got, man?
No, I'm saying all anger um, begins as fear. It just manifests itself as anger. And so what it is with these people is just they don't understand people that look different from them, and maybe they haven't grown up around people that look different from them, and so they have this fear of them, and it manifests itself as anger. I was very fortunate that I lived the first 30 years of my life in San Francisco, so I was around all different races, colors, religions, sexuality, all of those things. So I don't have that fear in, oh man, I don't know what that is. I don't understand it. And I think it's also the fear of giving up what little bit of advantage they think they have, right? The quote unquote white privilege. And people just don't want to let go of that, and they don't want to lose it, and that's the fear. These people are going to take over our country. What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. That's just all in the head. So.
Well, they also I think that they're believing that just because they're white, they're thinking there's the superior race. What I'm trying to say is that
Sarah.
Right.
I'm trying to exactly. I just had it and I lost it. They're thinking they're the superior race, and that
Definitely are.
them coming here, they're going to try to change everything, and that they can't do what they want to do.
Well, let me
because
ask.
that other person's trying to instill that their beliefs and cultures on them.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask everybody this question. And go ahead, Megan.
And that's very I mean, that is definitely common, but there's also a big chunk. Well, I don't know how big of a chunk, but like how I grew up, I definitely grew up white and privileged, but I don't judge. I don't judge white people even. I don't judge. I don't like to judge people until I like have a reason to judge them, right? Until I hear them speak awful things. And but I have definitely come across a crowd of colored women that were just like, no, fuck you, white woman. We know who you are. Get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, I'm not one of them. Like, I
agree with
you. You were discriminated against, Megan.
What?
You were discriminated against.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because. Yeah.
Well, so let me ask this question, if I may.
I agree with what
how many
just
people?
said right there.
How many people are self-confident in who they are? Raise your hand if you're on the panel, and then put a 1 in the chat. If you're a confident individual, raise your hand if you're on video, and a 1 in the chat. And there's a reason why I'm asking this. The reason I'm asking this is because if you are a confident individual with high self-esteem, how can anyone, I don't care what the race, what language they speak, make you feel inferior? How's that possible?
Wait, the way I was brought up. Go ahead, Vic. You go first.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, okay. So the way I was brought up by my folks, my grandparents, my mom, my dad, aunts, uncles, it doesn't matter where you hail from, what you believe in. We're all equals. What color your skin is, we're all. And I'm kind of piggybacking off what Liz said in the chat here, that one race, the human race. You know, we all bleed the same. We all breathe, eat, sleep, shit the same. You know, we're all humans. So that's the way I was brought up. It don't matter where you're from, who you believe in, whatever. We're all humans. I'm no better than Brian, Marcus, Vic, Megan. I'm no better than anybody. I'm just the same as you guys. The only thing that differentiates us is you're a woman and I'm a man.
And like that was one of the things that made me so mad about the whole thing that went down with Dave, is that like you shouldn't give Megan a hard time because she's a woman. It's like, no, you shouldn't give Megan a hard time because she doesn't deserve it. It doesn't matter if I'm a woman. Like, don't pity me because I'm a woman.
I pity the fool.
Thanks, swing your left stand up here. Yeah, there are other reasons not to do what you like. There are other. The reason isn't because I'm a woman.
Right.
So my response to that question is that ego is a separator, and ego will make you feel inferior or superior to everyone around you. And I think I think you said that how can someone speaking a different language, being a different color, make you feel a certain way? And I think it's all about ego and not becoming in touch with yourself. And you could say I'm confident in myself, but that doesn't mean that the ego is not going to play a role in trying to separate you. And I think that's what's happening.
And that is very true. And as an English speaker, like I have a hard time learning a second language. And when I see people that know multiple languages, I'm in like awe of them. It's not, it's not a drive to tear them down because they're better than me. It's not a drive to tear them down because they're better than me. They're smarter than me because effing lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Did Megan just cut out?
Megan, you muted yourself.
I thought it was me.
Yeah, she muted herself.
You muted yourself.
Stop pushing stop pushing buttons.
I said so many great things. You missed all of it. Amazing. I was talking about how, like, when I come across people that know multiple languages, because I'm incapable of learning a second language, and I could take that as you're not smarter than me. I'm tearing you down because you're obviously smarter than me.
Second language. I'm still working on English.
Yeah.
I'm not even proficient in English yet.
Right?
Most English as a first language speakers have a hard time learning the second language as an adult. And I'm like, I love meeting people who know multiple languages, and I'm it's not jealous. I'm inspired or in awe of them. It's not envy.
Be right back, guys.
Like, I wish my mom got me a Spanish-speaking nanny. That would be great, but I don't have a nanny. But I told myself, if I ever had kids, my kid's babysitter would be Spanish only.
Yeah.
Doesn't even know English.
Nice.
Believe it or not, I was supposed to take German in high school, but my dad pulled me out of that for some odd reason. Never did ask him, but I wanted to take German because I've always wanted to learn German. But
Interesting.
Yeah, I grew up
Never
in
did
San
it.
Diego. It was obvious Spanish was the obvious language to learn.
my sister took Spanish though.
And she
Yeah.
took French or Italian. I can't remember.
So, hey, Megan, earlier Silly Wabbit was asking if we've been privileged enough to see the pen that he made for you.
Oh,
and I'd
yeah.
like to see it if you have it handy. Yeah, I'd like to see it.
You know, I keep hearing about these pins because Jake has said something about pins and Megan has said something about pins. I don't think I've ever seen one.
Otherwise,
Silly
the camera's just keep focusing on whatever. So
Hey, Silly Wabbit, send the link in the chat to your Facebook page for your pens there, so Brian can see them. Yeah, those are pretty wicked. I saw those.
like
Wait a minute, that's a writing utensil?
it's a writing utensil that also has like a bullet point. So you got. I mean, this is very gun friendly.
You
Right,
made
so-
that? What? He made that?
Wait, what the hell?
You can't even appreciate the resin quality work here because the camera doesn't do it justice.
Badass.
It is effing nice.
Wow.
And it has this all right. It
Yeah.
has this like kick. You got it. It's like a gun. And look, a little rifle. That's a little rifle.
Badass.
It's amazing. He
So-
is an artist.
So can you reload it with ink later?
I have not gotten that far yet.
Okay.
I literally signed my name with it, and
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm a computer person, so I don't really write shit down.
That's
That's
crazy.
pretty impressive, man.
This anywhere because I don't want to lose it.
That is talented. That's very
That's
talented.
great.
It's amazing. I really want you guys to be. Oh, there. You kind of see the resin work.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Very,
Look,
very, very cool.
look at the detail. You can't really see it. Okay.
Wow.
It is beautifully detailed. It's amazing.
Hey, Silly Wabbit, you're still in the chat. Send the link to put the link in the chat for your Facebook page so
Well,
you
I
can
don't.
check it out.
I don't think he can. He has to send it to Megan or someone who's a moderator can actually put the links in. You can't use the links in the
Oh.
chat.
Because I checked it out and I was like, man, those are some really nice pens. I'm gonna probably get me one here soon.
And Megan has got her finishing up her painting there.
I do have to put gloss on it, but yeah. Hey, it looks like fire, right?
It does look like
Yeah.
fire. Hmm.
Probably didn't come out the way I expected it to, or I wanted it to, but it's nice.
It looks exactly like fire to me.
Say
like-
again?
I said it looks exactly like fire to me.
Right?
Hmm.
Fire is my favorite thing to paint. I mean, literally, always, ever since middle school.
Hmm.
But that is the most fire-like thing I've ever done.
So let me ask you guys a question. I know everybody had mentioned that they wanted to talk about the lady that was pulled out of the car. I put that out there today as well. Did you guys see that video?
That was horrible. That was wow. I don't know what to say about I'm at a loss for words with that.
And so this is another example of a overreach from the police officer or a sheriff's deputy. When even if she had her suspended license, and the lady was in there asking her, I don't know if you guys saw that or read about that in a future article, that they were saying that she was asking her to step out of her vehicle because her license was suspended, but it was like a clerical error. It wasn't like a real suspension. And so she was asking her to get out of the car, but instead of asking her so they could find out more information about, if she was on a suspended license or not, this crazy lunatic cop was just like, get out because I told you to get out. And I don't care if you're a cop or not. I don't want anybody speaking to me that way for no reason.
And then she yanked the poor girl out, by her hair or something?
So the lady fell out, she pulled her out, and then she was walking, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what type of altercation they had or said, but all of a sudden the lady starts smacking her in the face. And as she's smacking her in the face, she starts pulling her hair, pulls her so hard, she puts face plants right into the grill of the police car.
Yeah, that was, God. I have nothing but mass respect for police, but when I see stuff like that kind of, it doesn't really sway my faith, but it kind of makes it it's like, man, there's other police officers out there that are doing that to people. What, for something so small as that? What the hell is this lady's problem?
And by the way, I don't know what, the conversation guy is saying that she was still hanging on to her phone. I didn't see a phone on that lady. Her hands were cuffed behind her back. Didn't see anything in her hand. So I'm not really sure what the phone was all about. Yeah.
The phone is her that's her safety net.
But I didn't see it. I didn't see a phone in that video at all.
Well,
yeah, she got
lady in the bank, right? And she was constantly like, "Give me my phone. Give me my phone." And it's like, no.
Who was this?
Oh, the lady in the bank who, the 60-year-old woman who ended up having to get brought down to the ground and handcuffed because she was just obstinate and she was.
Oh, I remember seeing that lady. Yeah, I remember seeing that lady. Yes.
I don't think I've seen that one.
And I looked up what you were saying, something about a Utah, an arrest and a murder, and I wasn't really sure what you were talking about because there was somebody who was arrested or tackled by a police officer, and he died in police custody. So I wasn't really sure which one you were talking about. I was going to reach out to you and ask you to send me a link about that particular instance, and maybe you could put in the link. Yum is now a moderator, in case you guys were wondering. He has been nice and asked to be one. So she is.
That's the one that Yum is talking about.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. So there was a guy, and he was in boxer shorts and
the heavy set guy.
Yeah, he had been picked up earlier and dropped off at a detox center, but it wasn't one that they could hold him. He had to stay there voluntarily. So he left, went down the road to a brewery, tried to steal someone's beer off their table. So they called the authorities, and he was out in traffic and running around, and they tackled him to the pavement, or onto some gravel, it looked like. And we're trying to cuff him up, and he was kind of struggling with them somewhat, but it looked like at one point they couldn't get his hands behind his back because they had their knee in his back, and there was no way to bring it back there. And once they eventually cuffed him, rolled him over, he was unresponsive, and the video kind of ends with, "Man, is he still alive?" And he wasn't.
Oh,
So
no.
so did that have something to do with the actions of the police officers, or because the person that they were having this interaction with was obese?
I think it had to do with the fact that he was probably very intoxicated. May have had some pre-existing medical conditions, but it seemed that their actions were excessive and brought on this condition.
Yeah, it contributed to.
That's what I saw from it.
So I'm gonna refer to the second physically fit person in the room, and that's Marcus. I'm just kidding. I was saying I'm first. I'm never gonna put myself second. So anyway, so here's what I tell people, and Marcus can attribute to this because he's the ninja warrior in the room. When you can lift weights all you want. You can be the biggest muscle-bound guy. But when you are boxing or if you're doing mixed martial arts or whatever, and your heart rate goes way up when you're exerting yourself. Because what you really want to do is, even in regular exercise, your heart rate wants to get up because you're burning calories when your heart rate is up. So that's what you want. The key is to be physically fit where it's easy for your heart rate to come down. If you're on substances or if you're on your alcohol or something like that, and you exert yourself, or if you're obese, it takes a long time for your heart rate to come down, and it'll keep racing to overcompensate, especially if you lose oxygen. Your heart rates will taxing over and over and over again. Am I hitting all the right points there, Marcus?
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
I think.
Hey, if you're saying he's the only physically fit people in this room, don't say that. I'm in shape.
No. Listen, calm down over there, Big Jake. Hold on. I was saying in the room because we're in the same room, not on the live channel. Because look, everybody here has got all the physical attributes that everybody enjoys looking at. If you didn't have the attributes, you would not be showing your videos. So you're a good-looking guy. I'm gonna give you all the props in the world.
I had to pull that joke.
Round is a shape.
That's what I said. I was like, round is a shape.
Look, man, you got BDE, man. You got BDE.
Okay. All right. Full disclosure, Brian.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention, so set me up again.
I knew you weren't paying attention over there. I ain't trying to go back over there and say it again. Marcus over there, I don't know what he's doing over there.
I was trying to look up something.
He's doing his dad joke. He's getting ready for his dad jokes. What's going on over there?
No. It's relative to this segment.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you say, Megan?
Is it late enough for a dad joke? I mean,
no. I thought he came to the podcast unprepared, and he was trying to do the research as we were having class. So no.
Marcus, what is
No,
it's never too late for a Marcus dad joke.
This applies to this segment. I promise.
My oven is on. I totally forgot I was making some food. So
Pizza's burnt.
No, I haven't put the food in the oven yet. But I'm not going to have the oven on without food in it. So give me 3 minutes. No, 5 minutes.
And by the way, Silly Wabbit, you don't have to send me a free one, but I pay for a pen. I think it's that you're that talented, and if that's something that you do, friends support business, and friends supporting business doesn't mean that you're take things for free. Support is buying them.
Yeah, it's kind of the same as a small business. I support anybody who's running small businesses like that.
Come on, man. Come on, Jake. Give me some referrals, then, Jake. Big Jake, give me some referrals to the business, man. Come on.
I don't have any businesses. I mean, my dad actually runs a concrete business, and he recently just fired up a plumbing business just recently.
No, I'm talking about give me a shout out. Give my business a shout out. Come on, man.
Oh, well, I don't even know what you do. You never went into in-depth detail with that. But, yeah, whatever Brian does, go check it out.
All right. Listen. I'm going to put Jake on blast. I know this is my buddy, my pal, my friend, my family. I'm going to put him on blast, though. How many people in the chat put a 1? If you know what I do for a living, put a 1. If you don't know what I do, put a 2. I guarantee you, Jake, there's more people who know what I do We'll put a 1 than they do than a 2. Guarantee it.
That's right on the tip. I think I heard you say it before. You work in electronics, right? You're an electronics guy, right? Am I close?
That's close.
Come on, throw your bone here. I'm trying.
You're close. You're close. You're close. You're close. Very close.
No, yeah, Maria, no, I did. This is going to be my last night on the panel, guys.
Yum said gay porn. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It does pay the bills.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do. So we got Mr. B has gotten it correctly.
Hey, I support Brian's OnlyFans as much as I can.
Wait, Mr. B said cider security, not cyber.
Cider.
He said cider security.
Somebody's got to guard the stash.
Yeah, you're protecting Elmer's moonshine? That's great.
That's exactly right. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Come on in if it has to do with moonshine.
Man, don't let Jay guard it. He'll be gone.
About to say, Brian, what's your email? I'll send you the resume.
So I'm the world's worst daughter right now. Yesterday was my dad's birthday.
And you didn't say anything.
Of course I did, but it was while I was working. I'm like, okay, I'll call you back. And then I text him because he eats late and it was his birthday. And I'm like, let me know when you're available for me to call. And he got it late. He's like, I'm going to bed, so tomorrow. And I'm like, that's today.
Yesterday is today.
He was born in 43, so that makes him old as shit.
60, 80, 82? 62.
Okay, not 60s. That's way off.
No, 40 and to now is that's
72.
72.
Negative.
What?
Wait, what year was he born?
43.
What year?
You said 40. You said 42.
I said 43.
85.
Luckily, it's all on the internet.
He was born in 43.
Mm-hmm.
So he's 70.
79.
Okay, so it's not quite his 80th birthday. So that's next year. Okay, good. I won't worry about it then.
Next year, right?
I'm kidding. I should still worry about it.
You forgot to carry the one. You just forgot to carry the one. That's all.
I always make the joke that
because you literally said 60 something, and I'm like,
well, I thought you said 44, and you were like, okay. I thought you said 44.
44. Would he still be anywhere
No,
near?
I forgot to carry the 2. You forgot to carry the 1. I forgot to carry the 2. We're in the same group class. We're staying after class.
I'm just like, oh.
We're both staying after class for extra tutoring.
Because my mom, she was born in 51, and she's over 70. My dad was 8 years older than her, so obviously he's not in his 60s.
Mm.
I always make the joke on my mom's birthday. So, when's your high school reunion with Methuselah? She just looks straight at me like, you're just cruising, boy. You're cruising.
And I want to make sure everybody understands, and this goes to you as well, Yum. We're very thin-skinned over here. I can give a rat's behind if you think you know about me or anybody else on this panel. I don't care. We don't care. If you want to bring that kind of crap to the table, feel free to talk about it among the chats, but we're not going to acknowledge your dumb behavior from the chats, okay? This is not what this channel is about. If you want to have some dialogue and have some discussions about things that you agree or disagree with, feel free to come over here and have a good place. And to Yum, I could take all the good jokes because I appreciate this stuff, the levity that you bring. I won't take offense. I'm very thick-skinned. So make all the jokes you want about me. I have no problems with you continuing doing that. And I am honored that you are over here on this channel and you have the wrench and now as a moderator. So keep up the good work. Don't let me slow you down from doing what you do.
Grew up in a whole family being made fun of. So whatever you got, I don't care. You can make fun of me all you want. I can handle it.
Sure can.
So I got something to add to this because like I said, I was looking up something here for this segment. Um, so we all know what a Karen is, you know, and the internet is so fun. Let me tell you that. So Karen became popular back in the 2010s, right? And it typically refers to a woman who fits the stereotype of an aggressive, racist, minivan driving white woman. So that's a Karen. But did you know that there's also a Becky and a Stacy? So Becky refers to a younger white woman who is unaware or takes advantage of their privilege. Becky's are typically like your quote unquote valley girls. But I did not know this. Apparently, one of Beyonce's songs made the term Becky popular, or helped make the term Becky popular when
Sir Mix-a-Lot?
references Becky with the good hair.
Oh, I thought it was Sir Mix-a-Lot. Look at Becky. Look at her butt.
Look at her.
I forgot about that one.
Oh yeah.
But well, no, I didn't think about that one. But this one says it was Beyonce's song, and then that was interpreted. And hearing the name Becky, it was just interpreted or assumed that she was talking about a white woman.
So Karens didn't get that name. Like I feel bad for actual Karens. People that have that name. Becky is normally a shortened version of another name.
Rebecca. Yep.
Can be like, don't call me Becky.
So now, and then there's a Stacy. Now, apparently, Stacy has been around for a while.
Yeah, Barbie's little sister.
Yeah, exactly. My daughter has a few of those in her bins. But it goes back, I guess it goes back to the 70s and 80s. But by 2011, it took on a totally different meaning to where it was now used as a stereotype for attractive women who are vain, rude, and only interested in sex.
Men.
Maybe we got to give these Karens a chance, or these Beckys, or whoever. Maybe we got to give them a chance, Marcus. Come on. They're not all that bad, right? They're not all that bad.
They're not all that bad. So we don't need Karens. We need Stacys, right?
Stacy's, yes.
Oh, jeez. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Marcus is the astute version of all the book nerds that you can ever find growing up in high school. He's that guy on the panel. He wants to make sure that our vernacular is correct when we refer to the Beckys, the Ginas, or the Beckys, the Karens, and everything else.
Do the Ginas have big foreheads? Because when I hear Gina, I think of Martin.
So then what about the Vicks and the Marcuses and the Bryans and the Megans and the Jakes and all that?
Oh.
So every big guy with long hair and tattoos and Pantera shirts say, "Oh, that's a Jake over there."
That's a Jake. That's it. We're
What?
doing that right here.
That's a Jake. I'm gonna start using it. I promise you, I'm gonna start using it. Look.
The Jake. I'm the original Jake.
Long hair and tattoos. That's a Jake. Man, stop being a Jake over there. I'm gonna tell Team Skeptic. I'm gonna say, hey, are you getting a tattoo? Because you're trying to be a Jake over there.
Oh man.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like
I gotta get a
Being a
shirt
Jake.
that has just. I gotta get one on my black shirt that just says hashtag be a Jake.
Be a Jake.
Be a Jake.
Silly Wabbit said Marcus has his Mountain Dew spike with vodka. I wish. I can't wait to see Marcus take a sip of alcohol. I just can't wait. Oh, and by the way, I will say this, and I'm going to do this on the next podcast. I actually went out and bought hot dogs.
Oh God, no, not the hot dog thing.
And
You did it, didn't you?
No, I didn't do it. I didn't do it yet. I'm not going to do it until I do it on live. I don't want to do it and just tell you about it. I'm going to stream it. So I will tell you this. I may do another, I haven't done this in a long time, but I might do an after party live stream and do it. It's just maybe an hour or so on a day that nobody else is doing anything on their live streams. And I'm going to put the hot dogs, hold it out, and I'm going to drink a beer throughout the entire podcast from a hot dog straw.
What kind of beer?
Guinness.
Miller
Yeah,
Lite.
there you can go. No, yeah.
Miller Lite. Is that?
It's got to be a thin beer. It's got to be a thin beer like that.
Yeah, I don't want to waste a good lager. I don't want to take like a real good beer and waste it through a hot dog straw. That's just ridiculous.
Oh man, I had a Guinness for the first time, and I don't know how long the other day with my dad. I was like, oh God, now I really need to start getting back into having beer again. Not like all the time, but just occasionally. I went over to his house the other day, and he just cracked one open, poured it in the glass. He's like, here. Oh my God, I forgot how good this stuff was. So good.
I mean, I enjoyed my beer before I became a raging alcoholic, because then beer was just worthless. But I was a Stella Artois drinker.
Oh yeah.
Guinness is a meal in a can. That's a meal in a can right there.
No,
It's
Guinness
thick.
is a meal in a can. All right, you want to talk about heavy drinks? You're gonna bypass Guinness comment and go straight to Stella? No, Stella's lighter. It's
It's a light beer.
I was about
No, I
to say,
said-
Stella is very lightweight.
Guinness is a beer and is a meal in a can.
Yeah, but I'm not I can't get around Guinness. I can't get my head around a Guinness. I've tried it several times, and I just can't. I'm just not.
Stella is for people who think they want to drink beer, but they're not sure. So they drink that.
That's more like hard seltzer drinkers. Hard seltzer drinkers are like that.
Yeah, right.
So they think they want to drink beer, and they drink Stella.
Right. They're not really sure that they really want to drink beer, so they drink Stella.
It's so smooth.
Stella's not terrible, but it's just not. It's too light for me. Now, at my store, we're coming out with all the seasonal like fall beers, and I always go for the Sam Adams Harvest Pumpkin Ale. Now you guys can knock me for that, but that stuff is delicious.
Don't go for that pumpkin spice crap, man. Don't do it.
It's not pumpkin spice. It's not pumpkin spice. It's a pumpkin ale. It's got nothing pumpkin spice in it.
This don't sound good to me, man. I'd rather have a hot dog straw than a pumpkin ale.
I concur.
Thank you, Megan.
I concur.
The pumpkin spice bandwagon.
A hot dog than a
Oh, a summer shanty. True teller. Man, you hit the nail on the head right there. A summer shanty is so good.
Line of Kugels makes a good summer shandy.
And I love I like Pacifico beer. I like what Megan said. I love Stella Artois. But I will tell you this. I'm trying harder and harder and harder not to drink beer. Because
Loading.
it is low, yeah, and the carbs makes me feel like I'm now when you see me drinking beer on the podcast, you see me mute my microphone, I'm burping because the carbs are just so much going on over here. I'm outgrowing beer because I drink so many other, spirits that make me feel like I'm really relaxed. Beer I can drink until the cows come home because I'm just intolerant. I'm tolerant of it. And I can drink them like 8 or 9 beers, and I'm not even intoxicated or even buzzed. But if I drink 1 or 2 of my whiskeys or bourbons, I'm feeling relaxed. I just want to sit down and just kind of like take a load off. Beer does nothing to me.
How about Blue Moon or Shock Top? No, those are really good beers right there for me at least.
Yep. Blue Moon. You gotta put the orange in it.
Gotta put the orange on there.
Yeah.
Same with
you gotta put the
Shock
orange in it.
Top.
Yeah.
I had Shock Top for the first time last summer, and I went to this burger joint, tried it for the first time, and it was pretty tasty.
Yeah.
Kinda
So when's the drinking beer through a straw hot dog gonna happen? Or hot dog straw gonna happen?
He used a straw to make the weenie into a straw.
The weenie. First of all, let's get it straight. I'm not going to drink a beer out of a weenie. I'm drinking a beer out of a hot dog.
Right. Yeah, I just don't want to miss it. I'm wondering when's that gonna happen.
That's what that guy did, though, didn't he? He drank the beer out of a hot dog.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. You're missing the point, Jake. Megan said drinking beer out of a weenie, and I'm not drinking a beer out of a weenie. I'm drinking beer out of a hot dog.
Called hot dog lady. However, don't blame her.
Next thing she's gonna be saying, he's drinking a beer out of a tallywhacker. What the hell? I'm like, no.
Oh, dude.
Just
Wouldn't that be a hell of a video title? Brian drinks beer out of a tallywhacker. Okay, everybody, get the camera out. We got to get this live.
I can see that that's going to happen on somebody else's stream. Did you hear what Brian said? Brian might be gay after all, everybody.
Oh, jeez.
Yum says Megan loves the weenie.
Loves the weenie.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. What is
That's
happening
hilarious.
here?
I don't know.
Wait, what'd you say? Say it again, Megan.
I said I'm the one who called it a weenie. You guys can call me gay all you want for that.
I said nothing.
And she got a big smile. She got a big smile on her face when she says weenie too. You see that? Big old smile. She said weenie.
High five. That's a high five, Megan.
I don't know what we were talking about now. Before we started talking, what were we talking about?
Weenie somehow.
Let me rewind.
That's hilarious.
Oh, when you're gonna drink beer out of the hot dog?
So I'm gonna do it. Look, I'm not really sure.
Sounds awful, though.
I'm not
Come
sure.
on, now, this isn't gonna be like Chili, fighting somebody, is it? We're gonna talk about it, and we're never gonna see it. Let's go.
That
Let's
is
commit
so-
right here. Sign the contract, man. Let's go.
That is so hilarious. That is so.
Oh, my gosh. We have got, Vic, you got to type one up, dude. You got to type it up and fax it to me. We got to.
Man, hey, if you don't do this, I'm gonna sue you, man.
So here's a little backstory too. And I don't know Chili. I don't know I don't know Chili's background. I don't know what he does. But I do. And most of you guys know that I am friends with Team Skeptic, and Team Skeptic does Chili videos all the time. I had no idea who this guy was that he was supposed to be fighting until someone sent me a link that showed me this guy calling, or maybe it was on Team Skeptic's live stream, where he was showing the guy who was supposed to be fighting. His name was his name Brian too?
Chad Goo.
Chad. And that dude is Cock Diesel. That dude's Cock Diesel.
Man, he would have right hooked Chili, and he would have went flat as a board ran on his back.
Yeah.
But let's don't get this twisted. Now let me clarify a couple of things. Chili, I don't know how tall Chili is, but back in the day, Chili was into physical fitness. He was lifting weights. He was into a good physique. I don't know what happened to him, if he still does that or not, or he just crapped his pants when he saw a bigger guy, a better in shape guy who wanted to beat his ass. He kind of folded like a cheap damn kitchen table. It was funny to me. Listen, if you don't know me, you don't know how much I actually follow boxing, mixed martial arts. I love MMA. I love all these types of things in sports in general. But when I saw this police officer who wanted to beat up Chili, I was like, hell, I wouldn't even sign the documents and pretended I wanted to fight that guy.
Yeah, guy's like 6'3", like 260, and a former actual MMA fighter.
Yeah, that
What's
dude.
crazy is people actually bought tickets to go see this fight. I was thinking about it. See, even Irish Demon was thinking about coming to the States, and
He's still coming. He's still coming.
I was like, oh my God, people are this is actually happening. I got to see about going. And then I see the video. Oh, my knee hurts, my blood pressure's, and he's holding up a freaking piece of paper it's a bill. Like that's not showing your bill of health. It's just of how much you paid to get all that stuff. He's like, oh, my knee hurts. I got high blood pressure. I can't fight, so I'm gonna back out.
Wait a minute, Mr. B said his blood pressure was at 180. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah. That's what he's saying. It's like 180 over 120 or like some crazy thing.
And he was just on a video the other day, or it was, I can't remember how far back it was, but he was taking hikes and stuff and walking around, and maybe it was recent. He got in a fight with his mom's neighbor or something.
No, that was an old video, but yeah.
Oh, that's old. Okay, but anyway.
Yeah. I'd like to apologize to everybody for bringing up the chili discussion. I know most people are tired of hearing
Well,
about
well, I'm going to sign the contract to eat the weenie. I'm going
Brian
to.
started drinking the beer out of the
He said
weenie.
it.
It reminded me of chili.
Oh, he
Well-
said it right there. He's going to sign the contract to eat the weenie.
But I-
Swallow
listen,
the weenie whole, my man.
But I will tell you this. I'm going to give you guys, if you guys like sporting events, and I will promise you that I'm going to do this on a live stream. I have been in talks with a lot of my friends because they still don't believe that I am a fast individual. I am going to run. Listen, look at Marcus laughing. Look at Marcus laughing. Look at Marcus laughing. Look at Marcus. I'm going to videotape, or I'm going to live stream me running the 40, okay? A 40-yard dash. I'm going to stream this live. And you guys will all be able to be witness. And I'm not going to even tell you what I'm going to run it in, but I will ask you guys, tell me in the comments how fast you think I can run the 40-yard dash. Now, NFL players run it in about the fastest of 4.3, 4.4, 4.5. That's considered fast in the NFL. Tell me what you think I'm going to run it. Look at Megan. She's like, you're going to talk about sports now? So if you have a guess, put it in the chat. If you got a guess, Vic or Jake, let me know. I don't want to hear what Marcus has to say. Marcus is on mute. I'm muting Marcus indefinitely. Yum said, Yum said 10 seconds. What?
The answer is always 42.
The answer is always what?
42.
42 seconds?
Oh my God. Never seen it.
Anything under 5 would be impressive.
Does
Do
anybody?
you think you could run it under 5?
I could run under 5 right now without even training.
Does anybody see the relevance of me saying the answer is always 42?
42 because of the movie I haven't seen that you asked me to watch for 42? Is that it?
Oh, no, that's not actually a movie I asked you to watch, but obviously you haven't watched the movie I'm talking about.
No, I have not watched the movie you're talking about.
That was Sucker Punch, I think she told you to watch.
Okay,
No,
4.6.
Okay, I got a 4.9. I got 10 seconds, and Vic has said a 4.6. I can run a 4.6.
I don't think so, but I'm asking. Do you think you can? 'Cause like I said, anything under 5 at our age, I'd be impressed.
Okay, so I just watched Terrell Owens, who's about the same or close to the same age as me, and he ran a 40 and a 4.5, I believe, 4.6.
Okay.
And I compare myself to Terrell Owens, but I'm a smaller guy, leaner guy than Terrell Owens.
What did Megan?
Silly Rabbit said 20 seconds.
Hey, Brian, I'd have to see you doing some sit-ups in your driveway before I'm going to compare you to Terrell Owens. I mean, do some...
Good point there. Good point there. But
sand shirt, my friend, sand shirt.
But all I'm just saying, if you guys want to see a sporting event, I'm going to actually put my contract signing on a live video as well. And then I'm going to hype it up like chili. I'm going to have my little Sally Jesse Raphael glasses on. And I'm going to milk this for all it's worth. And then I'm going to ask Team Skeptic. I'm going to ask Team Skeptic to hold the stopwatch. So we have his viewers and my viewers on there. And everybody's making fun of me. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't mind being the butt of people's jokes. If I pull a hammy, I want everybody to PayPal me like $5 to help pay for my medical costs.
Well, what I was going to say, that, if you're going to get involved in doing it with Team Skeptic, you could actually probably do it for charity.
Where's Megan going? Okay.
Well, have people, put something in towards what you can do, and if you do it under, what do they call that when the kids do it at school? Not bid on them. I forget what it is. But I had in my kids' school where people pledge money
Yeah,
You know,
pledge.
based on pledge money based on on what you can do. You could raise money for a charity that way.
Yeah.
I would. You know what? Kind of do the same thing that they were gonna do with Chad and Chili's fight. Do it for St. Jude, man. I'm all for that St. Jude
Yeah, I
stuff.
mean, yeah.
And well, listen.
Yep.
And by the way, Thumper's here. Good to see you, Thumper. We're gonna go have some drinks and some vodka together, Thumper 88. But let me tell you something. Let's not get this twisted. I'm not trying to compare myself to these young kids, man. Come on now. I'm trying to be embarrassed by some young kid who's a stellar stud and athletic, god. I'm just trying to say, for a guy my age, I think that I'm still in pretty decent shape, and I think that I can still run a sub. And to answer your question, Vic, I think I could run a 40 sub 5 seconds.
Okay. No, you were trying to compare yourself to Terrell Owens, who's an elite athlete, still playing in a competitive football league.
I think he could probably still play. To be honest with you, I think he could contribute.
For the Cowboys, there's no doubt about that. There's still a spot on for him on the Dallas Cowboys.
I take
on an actual NFL team, probably not.
See, there you go. See, let me go on and mute Vic right now. Come on, moderators, do your job, moderators. Do your job, moderators.
I'm kind of liking this. I think I'm gonna sit here and watch.
Where
popcorn.
where is who's the other guy that normally I'm kind of lost for, or his name escapes me right now, who's a football enthusiast that was on here, and he was talking about the Cowboys as well. He was on here last week, Marcus.
Your friend Jeff.
No, he wasn't on the panel, but he was in the comments. Man, what was his name? I forget.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Apart from our original crowd, I have no idea.
Jesus, what's his name? Anyway, that's gonna bother me until I think of his name. Damn.
I can hardly hear you. Ouch.
Can you hear us now?
Hold on.
See what you did, Vic? You start bringing up chili, and the whole conversation goes sideways. It goes way sideways.
I know. Guys are pretty soon you're gonna have Kate over here, and AFA. It's just gonna fucking go crazy. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I'm just bitter. I'm bitter because Chili took my wrench. Chili
took
my wrench.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no, you were over there?
Bitch, and took away your wrench.
I'm a regular in Chili DeCastro's cats.
And I still don't mind talking shit about him in front of his friends. It's weird. I'm usually not that type of person, but God, he's so gnarly.
He's so extra. He's so extra.
He's so punchable. It's just like that. And he's a little beta bitch. Like the first thing, like anytime he ever feels like a little bit threatened, he's like, officer, arrest her. Because I'm threatened.
I'm finally someone who actually has the same. I'm like, dude, he talks about being a big badass alpha male cop hater, but every time shit hits the fan, he's like, arrest her.
First,
Say it again, Jake. How does he do it again, Jake?
He's like, help, please, lady, get away from me, lady, help, please. Get away from me! Get away from me, lady!
That's hilarious.
That's my best interpretation of an alpha. That's my best interpretation of an alpha male.
So there's some Chili fans in the audience, and I don't apologize.
I don't either.
But here's the question. But here's my question.
Who's a Chili fan?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Are there?
What?
I'm sorry. If you support that guy, I'm sorry.
Well, let me ask you a question. Listen. So let me make it clear. Everybody has the right to do whatever they want to do on YouTube. And I really firmly believe, and again, we're not monetized. We're not even close to being monetized. We just don't have the followers. We do this because we enjoy it. We actually enjoy talking to every single one of you guys. Every one of you. Even though we might not share the same perspective on some of the things that we talk about, but this is something that we enjoy doing. There's a lot of money that to be made, even if you don't agree with someone else's channel. Trying to prevent someone from making money is just a dummy move. It makes no sense, especially when you have channels that are both really large and you have a following. If you talk about someone and it gets you clicks and views and promote your channel and it helps monetize your channel, that's great. But when you hear people that are trying to sit there and try to I'm going to tear this person down and try to prevent them from making money, I'm not sure I agree with that. But if you make fun of Chili and that's your thing, that's fine. I don't think anybody that I know is making fun of Chili to kind of say, hey man, stop making money. That's just not how they roll. But it's the good, videos to people love to watch. I don't watch Chili. I don't even know about a lot of what he does.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to take his cash cow away, but I'm gonna make funny until the day is over because he's an idiot.
I think taking down people's channels is wrong. But I think that with Chili, he's making money by exploiting vulnerable people.
Like that.
And we've seen that over and over again with different people. And I believe that he's our modern day confidence man. He's a 2022 confidence man, and that's what I've seen from him. If you're making money going out there and doing your thing, making your videos, and even if you're taking those videos and then, exploiting them and cutting them up like some of the people we know do, that's okay. You can agree or disagree with it. But when you're attaching yourself to, serious life-changing situations with people and making your money off of their vulnerability, that's wrong. And that's what I see. I don't know him personally, but that's what I've seen over and over of him being exposed doing. And I have no respect for somebody like that. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. Yeah.
It'll all come back to him eventually. It may not be today, may not be tomorrow, may not be next year, but it's coming.
Well, if this situation with his blood pressure is accurate, if that's really correct, and he doesn't do something to address it, it'll come to him.
It'll put him in an early grave. I don't hope it does, but I don't wish bad things like that upon anybody. But
amen, brother. Right. Hopefully something like that makes him take a look at himself and the lifestyle that he's leading, running around, living in his van and off of people, to chase his money. And he'll say, man, maybe this has affected my health in a negative way, and at this point in my life, I should do something different. I hope the best for him, like everybody else.
He will never, ever get sick, even though he's pissing his own mother off in her home.
And you want to know something else? It's not, and I'm not advocating for him at all, but all the undue stress he's putting himself under and all the targets he's got on his back, you got to think, he's probably not sleeping much. So you got to think of it that way. He's just like I said, I don't wish anything bad upon him. I don't like him, but that doesn't mean I want him to be dead.
Amen.
Well,
because then and eventually that brings bad karma my way. It looks bad on me.
That's right.
So.
Well, we're all experiencing the damage that karma can do in Alex Jones. I mean, come on, does that not put a smile on some faces?
I really haven't heard much out of that guy in a while. So
from who?
Everybody in the world.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones is getting it. Yeah.
Wasn't he big on the Trump train and then he jumped right back off of it or something?
Yeah, he's the DeSantis now. He's all under the DeSantis train.
Anybody that makes $800,000 a day should hire better attorneys. Just saying.
Listen, I'm not gonna start with the political talk tonight, Megan. Even though you're trying to entice me like Vic did with the chili and the contracts and the weenie dog, I'm not gonna let you do it. I'm not.
too. I was just talking karma.
Well, that's true. Listen. I could go. Listen, you know me. I could go forever and a day talking about some of that crap, and I don't know if I have the energy tonight to do it.
Probably not.
So I do have a question though for Brian, and this is a serious question in a way. You had talked about making the different channels, right, for the sports and the political stuff. Is that still on the drawing board? And the reason that I asked that is I was very interested in the sports channel, because I know as soon as we start going in that direction, people kind of go away from it. And I think we could have some really interesting discussions about it.
So yes, the answer is yes. There is a sports or Drinks and Discussions sports channel right now, live. It's out there.
Oh,
we have not really published a lot. There's a video out there right now, but we haven't published any live or a lot of content because of, see that guy sitting on his perch of judgment over there in the top right hand.
Yeah.
He's a very busy man, and I'm not faulting him. I'm making fun a little bit and being light. It's really hard for both he and I to actually have another live stream or try to put content together on those other channels. But I will say this. One of the reasons why I wanted Marcus and I to get together is because, as you have noticed, I have been putting little short videos together for our general channel. I was practicing because I want Marcus and I to be able to do that, not even when we're in the same room, but he will be able to have the same avenue that I have, and we can actually record these little videos and put them on the sports channel so that you guys have comments. And then when we can do a live, we can talk about some of the things that we post or some of the live football games or other sporting events that we have during those live segments.
Hey, Vic, I did want to
Yes,
ask
sir.
you this. I did want to ask you this as well. Brian gave me full reign to start Drinks and Discussions music, and if I can't get Nick to be my co-host, I was going to wonder if you wanted to be, because I'd really like to fire that up here soon myself.
Absolutely. Let me know. I mean, I'm not a music producer, but I do have an eclectic taste in music. So yeah, that'd be cool.
No, we're not going to make music. It's all going to be about talking about music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any genre, instruments, artists, and anything, just anything about music.
Sure. I got hey, one of my sons is named after Bob Dylan, the other one's named after Johnny Cash. So music is something near and dear to me. So hit me up on Discord, man. I'd be more than happy to participate in that with you.
Absolutely, that's perfect.
My sons are named Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, and Ralph. I'm just kidding.
Well, I'll be calling CPS in the morning. So expect a visit. Expect a bit. Hey, here's something, say something. Man. I heard
Say
something.
something, say something.
Oh, Vic, come on, don't be the nosy neighbor.
All right, guys, listen. This is our first time being on site, and I know there's an echo. We're going to do better. Maybe choose a better room next time. So I apologize for the acoustics in this room. There is a lot that we have to cover on our next one. Do you like the short streams throughout the week? Let me know on the comments, and please do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel, people. Please subscribe to the channel. That's all I'm asking. So before we head out of here, let's go around the horn. I appreciate everybody. We got Vic Ferrari, we got Megan, Big Jake, Marcus, myself. We've got Truth Teller, Mr. B, Silly Wabbit, Yum. We've got Marie Cook, Conversation Guy. We even had a lot of other people. I think I said Mr. B already, Silly Wabbit, and we also had, even if I forget your name, we had a lot of people. But let's go around the horn and say some final thoughts, starting with Mr. Vic Ferrari. You're on mute, Vic. You're on mute.
Yeah, I'm back. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, first of all, I just want to say how much of a pleasure it was being back on the stream with you guys. It's been been a busy few weeks for me. I've had my boys more than usual due to some things that their mom has going on, and I don't get on as much when they're here. I always enjoy the time. It's good conversation. For everybody out there in the chat and all of you, if no one's told you today that they love you, you are loved. And when you're out and about tomorrow, smile at somebody. That can make all the difference in somebody's day. Be kind, stay vigilant. Much love and peace to everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Vic. All right, Big Jake, you got the floor, sir.
Yeah, pretty much everything just Vic just said, and my usual stuff. Just stay happy, healthy, be safe, and like I always say, even sometimes life will knock you down, and you just gotta get your ass back up and knock it right in its mouth. Keep fighting that good fight. Don't let it drag you down. Stay positive, and you'll get there.
Thank you, Jake. All right, Miss Megan, you got the nice little kitty cat in the little screen. Let's go. What you got to say?
He certainly softens me up a lot because I did come into the stream
Hot.
pretty spicy. Pretty spicy. I'm still spicy. Don't get me wrong, but I do appreciate you guys allowing me to vent, to tell kind of a traumatic story and not be like, "Whoa, Megan, God, well, a little too much," It's appreciated that I feel comfortable enough to talk to you all, and confident enough that he has no interest in me, that he's not even gonna effing see this ever. So, normally I am not one to air my dirty laundry, but after a week of having COVID on my birthday, being held up by gunpoint, and having my cat used against me, and then not being appreciated at all or even thought of, I was a volcano about to erupt, and I appreciate you guys allowing me to erupt and not getting too much on you. It's really
saying erupt from the person who says weenie, you just kind of sent the little different messages all through my head for a moment there. I'm sorry.
Toes. Everyone on their toes. Say this. Look at this. Say this. Geez.
Well.
Yeah. Look at that.
Well, listen, I was listening to what you said, but you definitely had me going in a different direction in my head. So anyway.
My mom still uses the word weenies in her stuff for hot dogs.
For hot dogs.
Absolutely. She doesn't talk about what other people consider weenies as weenies. No, hot dogs.
She said weenie.
Oh, SpongeBob! Look at this weenie, SpongeBob.
I'm 5.
It's more like.
She
said weenie.
I would probably too.
Oh, why don't you kids grow up?
Was that Squidward?
That was supposed to be Squidward.
Oh, that was pretty good.
True.
Let me find out that Jamie Foxx is not the only person that can do impressions of other people. Let me find out Marcus is our next Jamie Foxx. Do a Donald Trump. Do a Donald Trump for us, Marcus. Go ahead.
I haven't practiced that one. I used to do Barack Obama and gosh, the other guy.
Barack's easy
Dang it.
though. He's subdued, and it's you just gotta take time. Time everything differently.
You talking about Trump?
Trump is a little bit more of a challenge.
Well, Jamie Foxx killed that Trump, man.
He did.
Wow, that was something.
So let me throw it to Mark, even though he doesn't have an impression. I guarantee you, he has some dad jokes. So let's get to the dad jokes. Silly Wabbit, right on cue. Where are the dad jokes?
Got my drumsticks ready.
All right.
With a bum.
So it's gonna be good tonight. So, why can't a nose be 12 inches long?
Then it would be a foot.
Damn it.
Oh, there you go, Vic. There you go.
Dad here, man.
You're the only one that's ever. Oh, man.
Got a dad
It's like one of
joke.
your jokes.
Yes, he's got you. Yep.
Got me.
When
You
is
gotta
it?
tell another one.
When is a door not a door?
When it's a
What is
window.
the jar?
When it's a jar. It's a jar. Yeah.
That's a good one. I'm gonna use that
I
one.
knew that one.
Wait. Marcus is going to try to recycle that joke next week, and we're going to be like, wait a minute, we just heard it.
Come on, he's got one more. He's got to repeat himself. He's got to say one more. Come on,
I
Mark.
got two more for you.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
What kind of car does an egg drive?
A carton.
A beater.
Ah!
A Volkswagen.
You both won. You both.
Yeah, it could have been either one of those. It could have been either one.
Both of those were clever as.
Yes.
And,
They were both clever.
accurate.
Wow.
I'm gonna mute myself for this, Mark. This is all you, man.
The grand finale.
All right,
I
More
need a
glory
drum roll
stealing
from
from
Jake.
me.
I need a drum roll from Jake.
Huh?
I need a drum roll from you, Jake.
Yeah, you're the only one.
How do you make 7 even?
Well, 7, 8, 9.
No, that's not it.
Wrong
How
joke.
do you make 7? How do you make 7? What?
Even.
Even?
Oh, even. Okay, my bad. I heard E.
Oh.
Come on, Marcus. Wait.
You take away the S.
Ah! Even. That.
I'm down to myself.
Yeah.
Okay, use
That's a
an
good
Ace
one.
Ventura laugh.
That was probably the best dad joke you've ever said.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think that was a good one.
Said egg jokes crack me up.
Bowing to myself.
Hey, Truth Teller just said egg jokes crack me up.
See what you did there. I see what you did there. See what you did there. All right, Marcus. Parting words, Marcus. Parting words.
That's all I got. I love you guys. This is fun.
Yes, we love you too.
So I would like to say this. I am a person that does get a little animated when it comes to certain things that really, I feel, impact me in a personal and intimate way. I am unapologetically honest. But I'm also in a place where I am not trying to offend anyone. I'm not trying to start any types of, issues with other channels or, cause any type of bad blood between anyone. I want people to feel as if this is, again, a safe place where you can come and share ideas, debate ideas, and even have a place where you can even have conflicting opinions and perspectives and feel that no one's going to turn you away. So if you feel as if this is not for you, that's okay. If you feel that you want to come over here and attack the people who are hosts or people on our channel, that's not something that we're going to allow, but we're going to give you an opportunity and then explain to you that this is not the place for that. But at the end of the day, this is YouTube. You have other options. You have places to go. And I 100% thank every one of you for spending 2.5 hours or 3 hours with us on this stream. You don't know us personally. We're starting to get to know each other, and we're starting to build a community that we really do deeply care for each other, that when we don't see someone in the stream, we generally ask questions. Where are they? What's going on? We want to have that neighborhood feel here. We're not bickering. We're not sitting here trying to act like we're a channel that is more important than another channel. But I do 100% honestly thank each and every last one of you for sharing every Tuesday with everyone, with Marcus, Megan, Big Jake, Vic, and myself. And for that, I am internally grateful. I hope that we can continue being better. I want to improve this channel, and I want your input, and I want to make sure that we incorporate your chats and your perspectives every time we are on stream. And if the videos that I'm putting on during the week and starting to just kind of practice the craft are annoying or they don't make sense, give me the feedback. I'm looking for feedback from all of you guys because I want this channel to be what you guys want to see. Not about anything else. I'm not trying to copy someone else's channel. I'm not trying to be like someone else that I'm not, because I don't want to be those guys that are out there making fun of people. But I want to bring these current events to you guys and get your perspective. And then when we come here on the live channels, offer you guys to have an opportunity to discuss those in a forum that we all appreciate. So that's my long-winded small little window of my last little stance there. But again, at the end of the day, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. We're not monetized, and I appreciate you guys just being here. That just means a lot to me.
Always a party.
Appreciate all of you guys, but especially you guys on the panel. I mean, and Brian, the videos you put out this week, I really thoroughly enjoyed them all.
Thank you.
You did a very good job.
And by the way, guys on the panel, I want you to stick around after we go off the live, guys on the panel. I'm going to show you guys something, and I want you guys to be able to do, because I should not be the only host being able to do these videos. If you guys see something, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to make the videos that I have, and then I'm going to give you access to post them on the Drinks and Discussion channel that you want to post them on. Megan, Drinks and Discussions Ladies Nights is yours. You got to take that off and go in with that. And if you want to post on there and hold your own little live panels, do it. You got to build your own followers. I don't have any followers on that channel, but you got to build your own followers and do that thing, just like we're trying to do here. But I want you guys to feel as if I'm empowering you to do whatever it is that you feel like you want to do on the YouTube community, and use Drinks and Discussions as if it belongs to each and every one of you. Because what these guys in the chat want to see, I want us all to be able to give it to them.
Conversation guy. I will give real quick a quick shout out to Frauditor Troll. They're some good people. I like Frauditor Troll. I just had to give them that real quick.
Oh, okay. I don't follow the Frauditor Trolls, but okay. Deanna, did I say hello to Deanna Cherry? She's still here. I didn't know she was here. I'm sorry.
It's Cherie, not Cherry.
Cherie amor. Listen. Me and Deanna had a very good conversation about New Kids on the Block and New Edition the other night. So y'all can suck a weenie when
Suck some beer through it. Yeah, suck some beer through that weenie.
Deanna.
My God.
The beer weenie.
Deanna's on.
Is there such a good thing as a good conversation?
We got to make the Drinks and Discussions After Dark channel now.
Yes, we do. We do. I was trying to do that. I used to say that it was Drinks and Discussions After Dark, but then I started saying it's the after party, and then I just kind of stopped doing it. And Marie Cook, I'm sorry if we didn't say good night to you. Thank you, Marie Cook. I'm glad that you show up, and I hope you are in good health. And if there's anything you need from us, you're always welcome to, reach out, and we'll be more than happy to make sure that, you have everything you need. So,
Absolutely.
Anyone else? Anybody else has anything else you like to say before we tune off for the evening?
Please just have a great week, Have a good time, stay safe, and we'll see you back here next Tuesday.
All right, that's Megan. That's Megan over there. That's like the Brady Bunch. And then that's Jake. And then down there, that's Marcus. That down there is Vic Ferrari. And this guy is Brian. And we'll see